Our top story tonight, the Pentagon is sending the Marines to deal with people in Los Angeles who have been out on the streets protesting ICE raids there. This comes just a couple days after President Trump sent in National Guard troops against the governor's wishes. That happened over the weekend.
And today, more protests breaking out across California. On the right, protests that took place in Los Angeles this afternoon, and on the left is a protest that took place in San Francisco. So far, the protests today have remained peaceful. Meanwhile, city officials in San Francisco are speaking out after more than 100 people were arrested during protests over the weekend. KRON 4's Rob Nesbitt live for us in the city with the latest. Rob?
Grand Vicky, San Francisco's interim police chief says that 154 people were arrested during last night's protests. Windows were broken, graffiti on walls, and police officers were injured. Hundreds gathered in San Francisco Sunday to speak out against ICE raids and arrests. The protest started peacefully, but Mayor Daniel Lurie says by 7 p.m. things became violent and laws were broken.
The crowd began to shrink. A remaining group became violent. 2 police officers were injured, muni buses were vandalized, and store windows were broken.
The mayor was joined by several city leaders Monday, including interim police chief Paul Yep, who says 154 people were arrested during the violence, including 6 juveniles. All were cited and released, except for 1 felony arrest.
When members of the crowd began committing vandalism, destroying property, and committing assaults, we declared an unlawful assembly to gain control of the situation.
1 firearm was found at the scene that was formed to rally against ICE raids and deportations happening across the U.S. San Francisco District Attorney Brooke Jenkins says charges will be filed against those who committed violence while also sympathizing with immigrants living in fear.
Feel that they can't drop their children off at school, feel that they can't go to work without wondering whether they will return to their families.
A small group gathered Monday in San Francisco to protest the arrest of California Union President David Horta, who was arrested in L.A. while protesting immigration raids. Monday's protest remained peaceful, but the mayor says the city is prepared for the opposite.
I am fully confident in our team's ability to handle whatever comes our way, just as we did yesterday.
The interim police chief says that SFPD cannot interfere with ICE arrests because immigration enforcement is handled by the federal government. Reporting live in San Francisco, I'm Rob Nesbitt, KRON 4 News.
All right, Rob, thank you for that. Meanwhile,